Hi all, this is Hemavati Murari taking you to the demo of AWS and DEVOPS. I'm a corporate trainer since 12 years and since 6 years I'm giving training on AWS, DEVOPS, and various other tools. So let's see what's there in the agenda for today. Okay, let me start sharing my screen. Okay, well, I hope you are able to see my screen. So let's see what's there in this demo for us. Yeah. Okay. Introduction. I will just give you a quick introduction. I'm Hemavati Murari, the corporate trainer for cloud computing, AWS, DevOps, and we have a manager Sumit with me here. Hi Sumit, and you audience are also called as students because you're taking the training from us, right? So, yeah. Now, what is the jargon or what is the key words which will be used in this demo in our training, yeah, and in the real world of software world? What is those things which is okay? Okay, so I was telling you about the jargons which will be used in today's world of AWS DevOps and in our demo, and till we complete the course, and we will be using these terms and we'll be seeing how we will be able to work with these things. Okay, so now the first one which comes is Git. So before coming into Git, let us see if you have used any version control tools. Like it was anciently, it was CSS, and it was SVN, Tortoise SVN, yeah. Then it was Visual Studio, yeah. So these are the few things. Now we are using something called as Git, okay. This is local version control system. Means what? So whatever we are having it in our company, within the company, we can use it, or within our project, we can use it. That is called as Git. Now we have something which the entire world can use. That is GitHub. So people are not worried about the projects what they have done. Should they have to put it in a secure way or whatever. So what they do, they directly put it onto the internet in GitHub, which is a free tool actually, and it's a link. You can log in with your Google ID, or you can create your own account and then use it. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I have to break in it here. Yeah, let's see. So if you attend any of the interviews, yeah, they will ask you to develop something, or they'll ask you to keep your artifacts so that this one, they'll give you some task to be assigned, and then you will be keeping your documents in a place. Instead of sharing through Drive and everything, nowadays people believe that GitHub is the best version control tool, which can be used in distributed control system. Okay. Now, the next jargon which we are going to learn is about CI/CD. This is the most important term in DevOps. Now, what is CI? What is CD? CI is continuous integration. Now, what happens is you will develop an application or a software or a feature. Yeah. Once you develop, you will do a unit testing, and then you will send it to your testers, who will be doing the black box testing or a gray box testing or a white box testing. Anything it can be done. So once they do it first on the test environment. Then they will be doing it on the staging environment, okay, which is a fixed environment. Yeah. Once it is tested over there and there are no defects, we cannot give 100% defectless product, right? So there are minor or cosmetic defects. Then we push that project into the production environment. Yeah. So this is automatically done. Okay. So whenever you release a project or a feature or a story, so what happens? This process will continue till when it continues, till it reaches the production environment. Yeah. So that is our continuous integration. And what is continuous delivery? Once the testing is done and then it gets deployed onto the ops server or the the production environment, it is called as continuous deployment, continuous delivery. Yeah. Now, what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? So continuous deployment is you go on tapping into this process. Both are same, both are more or less the same, but upstream has to accept your code, and for that they would have tested their the software, whatever you have released or the feature. So then they will accept. That is your continuous delivery. That is continuous deployment is from staging to production. That is continuous deployment. But continuous delivery is accepted code from the development team by upstream is called as continuous delivery. Okay. Now, what are the other tools we are using it here? For CI, we are using Jenkins. Okay. Now, Jenkins is what? A CI tool, like continuous integration tool. Then we have Maven, Gradle, or we have as a build tool. Okay. We have Ansible, and from cloud we have Terraform, that is configuration management and deployment tool. Now we have IDEs. Okay. So actually, if you have this AWS, we have EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, Terraform. Yeah, we will be seeing that in next slides. Okay, upcoming slides. So that is the one. Okay. Now, what is the IDE which you can use? Eclipse is the one which is very beautiful for testers or for developers. IntelliJ is also one. We have Unity. If at all you are developing your own games, okay, you're using Unity. Okay. Now, the provisioning environment is given by AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, and containerization is given by Docker, and Kubernetes is your container management tool. So anything you remember, if it is not, it can be handled standalone also, but when you put it onto the management tool, it is more beautifully organized. So we use the management tools. Now Kubernetes is one of the container management tools. Okay. So yeah. So till we know, it is not that easy. But once you know, it is definitely easy. And here the things are plug and play. Yeah. So let's see in the next slide. Yeah. Course coverage. Now whatever we have it in Git, we have completed our project and now we are able to deliver it to the world. So what we do, we push it to GitHub. So from GitHub, it will be connected with AWS. Okay. So it is actually not connected. From GitHub, you will download all your project files, okay, all your artifacts, and then you'll put it onto one folder, and that is your one folder in your local repository. Now AWS, you will launch it, you will create a free tier account, as I told you, yeah. Then you can use these applications, whatever application you have done. Okay. Now here, from AWS, you will download the Jenkins files, yeah, the var files, the tar files, yes, and the executable files, yeah, and then configuration files, and then you will connect AWS and Jenkins. I mean, that is from AWS EC2 instance only, you will be downloading all this Jenkins. Okay, EC2 is similar to a Linux machine. Okay. Now, with Jenkins, most of the things are plug and play. So, we do have a plug and play. What do we do? It's like hardware connected with our, if you see our ancient pictures. So, CPU, within, if you take that hardware, CPU itself, within that there is ALU, this one, right? Automatic logic unit, then we have our memory, we have our hard disk, we have our RAM, ROM, yeah, we have so many other components within that motherboard and in that CPU, right? So it is all connected together. How it is connected? It's just a plug and play, right? So you can also connect it to the real world. Like whenever you are doing an iron, you just connect the iron box to your spike buster or to your plug point, and then you'll start ironing. Once done, you'll just remove it, right? So plug and play. Similarly, with Jenkins, these tools are all plug and play. Okay. So now, what is Ansible and Terraform? Terraform is from cloud, where Ansible is from DevOps. Both are similar kind of tools. Yeah, we have it like configuration management and build tool. Okay. So what do they do is we connect with Jenkins, and using this, we either connect to 3 of the other things like VMware. Okay. Definitely, you would have come across this. Yeah. What do we do when while working on our client mission? What exactly we do? We will connect it. Yeah. We'll log into our main company laptop or desktop, and from there we will use a VDI or VPN or VMware, and then connect to client's remote desktop. Yeah, that is an RDP, right? So using that, what do? We connect to the VMware, client VMware. Similar, we can connect to the Docker, and then we can see our project, yeah? Or we can see, connect to the Kubernetes and then see it. So in this course, we are not doing any kind of web development, okay? But still we are using an e-commerce application. Okay, and then we will see how the integration works with all these tools. Okay, so what is AWS? We all know AWS is an acronym of Amazon Web Services. So web services you would have come across, or you would have heard of it, like that, yeah, like REST. Okay, some of the softwares, right? The REST and your SOAP UI, yeah. So these are the few things works as a web service. And we have a beautiful file that is our visual file, WSDL, and we'll load that, and using SOAP and REST, we will test it, right? So yeah. So now AWS, it is the highest huge cloud provider for 35% of the companies across the globe. These people started it in 2006 for themselves. That means Amazon started it in 2006 for themselves. Then they found that, hey, it is very useful. Let us give it to the world. And then they started with this. 2016 they started with this, and then they later on gave it to the world. Yeah. Nowadays the competitors are coming up, that is Azure and Google Cloud. More or less it is the same kind of tools what they'll be, but with a different name set. Yeah. So Azure is having a 13% of the companies, and Google Cloud is having 6% of the companies, because it just started in 2018, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Now, what are the tools which we'll be learning? EC2, that is Elastic Cloud Compute, which is like a Linux-based machine. Yeah. So then we have Elastic Beanstalk, which is direct. Which is directly like you can put an application onto it and then start testing it. AWS Lambda, it comes up with its own setup. It doesn't have to worry about anything. Whatever is available, by using that, you can work with it. So VPC in networking, that is one more platform. The storage, okay, load balancer, auto scaling, security, and then as you see here, storage is AWS thing, but in some of the architectures, you would have seen there is a database and there is a storage. Now, database is to contain only the data, while storage will contain all your audio, video files, yeah, and apart from your data, non-data things will be stored on storage. Okay, load balancer is balancing your load. So now you have this whole setup and you have put it onto the cloud. So from cloud, anybody can access it, isn't it? So there can be number of users can be increased. So when the number of users increases, your application shouldn't crash, right? So it should be in a balanced environment. That is why we use load balance. Now to improve the performance of our project, what we use auto scaling. Yeah. So security is the most important thing, and luckily we have such a very good security, though things are there on cloud. Okay. Now to give a best example of this, we have Netflix and Amazon. Both uses AWS. Amazon has its Prime, and Netflix we all know that is on cloud. So we download and then we check the videos and everything. So now, though AWS is from Amazon, there are some privacy rights, there are some copyrights where AWS shouldn't share the Amazon things to Netflix or Netflix things to Amazon. If it does it, it will lose the market, right? So that is where that high level security it provides. Okay. Now coming back, that one is Terraform, which we'll be seeing in depth in this course. How do we work with Ansible and then Terraform? Okay. So now this is how the DevOps looks like. Okay. So what is that? DevOps, if you see, this is the development team which is coolly working. Yeah, every Friday there is a release. In some companies that is a mandatory. In some companies every day there is a release, and it is operation team which will say, oh my God, see the way they are touching it. There is a release over here. We have not tested the previous release itself, the previous release itself, or the features itself. Isn't it so clumsy that we get a new one and then this old one might go, or old one has to be stopped, or old one. So without disturbing the old stories, the new things has to sit on the one. So the DevOps, development and operations team has to work together, okay, to see to that the company situation will be always a win-win situation and not a conflict situation. Okay. Now, if you see here, it is dev will worry about application performance, end user analytics, quality code, code level errors. Okay. While ops team will be worried about the application availability, application performance, end user complaints, performance analytics. Okay. So this is how it is. I hope you have understood this. Now, coming to our syllabus. So here we are I have put the number of steps how we will be going across. Yeah. So the step one is introduction to cloud computing, version control system, Git, and how do we work with GitHub, and creation of free tier account in AWS, and then EC2 instance. Then we'll be learning the basics of Linux like VI, yeah, SH, LS, yeah, few things, right? Okay. VI is an editor, right? So we are not going again into the deep like shell scripting and other things. Whatever we needed for our project, for our AWS DevOps to learn, that's what we are going to do it, okay? And the step two is EC2 in depth, okay? Then we have networking, that is virtual private cloud, okay? This will be studying in detail. And then we have AWS service, elastic beanstalk step. So third step, we have introduction to Jenkins, deployment of Jenkins in AWS EC2, build tool, Maven, okay? Creation of CI/CD pipeline with GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, and Tomcat server. Why do we see it on Tomcat server? Because everyday life we are using our project in Tomcat server. Now, once we know the whole integration and how it works and all, then we can replace this Tomcat server with Docker with Kubernetes, right? That is how we have planned. Okay. Now, the step 4 is Ansible introduction, syntax and semantics of Ansible for AWS. Okay. Now, step 5 is Docker introduction, understanding and implementation containers like volumes, network logs, etc. Using images from Docker Hub, building images for our project, integration of CI/CD pipeline with GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, and Docker. Okay. So then we have Kubernetes introduction, pods, services, controllers, deployment. Okay. Then finally we have the CI/CD pipeline with GitHub, Jenkins, Maven, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes. Then we have AWS load balancer, AWS autoscaling. Then we get AWS security management. Then we have simple services like message services, phone services, mobile services, something like this. Yeah. Then we have databases. Then we have CloudWatch, Trusted Advisor, CloudTrial. And then we'll be learning about Route S3, AWS service, which is Lambda. Then we have CloudFront Content Delivery Network. And then we go with AWS service, that is storage, and then Terraform. Okay. Then we have AWS OpsWorks configuration management tool, AWS container management tool, ECR. So here we have two other tools. Now, whatever we have Docker, Kubernetes, now we are using in and out only AWS also. We do have tools for it. And finally, we are working on a project. Does it mean that are we not working on a project in all these sections? We do work on the project. Okay. Finally, I'll assign you the project and you people will be able to complete it. And we'll see once there is a questions issues you people have, means we are training you with a real-time project itself. Okay. So what is the project which you are working? So let us guess. Narmada it's a Sunday night, and then we all know that Sunday night is a relaxing day. We have relaxed pretty good. Monday early morning we get up. What time will she get up? She gets up around 6 a.m. This is the usual thing that happens with anybody, right? And not only with Narmada, even with your cases, this is what is happening. So what happens here? She has to send the kids, make the breakfast for the kids, and yeah, and send them to school with packed lunch also, right? And there is snacks also nowadays, right? So what she does, she remembers of that ad. Okay, this is why ad was very important. Okay, so she remembers that Blinkit and Zepto are there, which can deliver them in the crucial time in the 6 o'clock. Definitely, they will be able to deliver you within 10 minutes or 14 minutes maximum. Yeah. So let us take that real-time use case scenario. Okay. Now what we are doing is we have built an application using HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. Okay. That is this Blinkit or Zepto. Fine. Then integrate with AWS and DevOps in the entire course. Okay. Now, as we already know, yeah, that what we are doing, I have just put up over here. Git will give you the assets for our e-commerce project, and then the is stored in developer server. Then we have jar files, var files, exe files, and so on is stored in developer server. Yeah. Now that is for this Jenkins, Maven, and all we will be having, isn't it? Now GitHub is everything from Git, it is moved to GitHub. Then Jenkins, it is your plugin. So you create and invoke EC2 instance and then install Jenkins for entire files. There can be any other files also. Yeah. In fact, we speak about this var and tar more. Okay. Now Ansible Maven, the installation files again will come up, download it and install to create and use a build. Yeah. Docker images will be downloaded from Docker Hub, and then it will be stored in the configuration file. Yeah, and it will be connected to the build tool and to create containers. Okay. Kubernetes. Finally, the e-commerce application can be seen using the containerization management tool through cloud AWS. Yeah. So this is what is all about the project. And now coming to the next one, it is our duration. Okay. So the best scenario is if we target, people target to finish this in 60 hours, and as we have Saturday and Sunday only, this is weekend classes, right? It comes up with 2 hours each, and number of weeks in a month is 4. Let us take average 4 and 5, it is 4 we will take. And then we will see it takes around 3.75 months, okay, to complete this. But in the normal scenario, it actually takes 5 months of time. Okay. Now coming to the fees, there are our competitors like Simplilearn and so many other things. Yeah. So they charge you a very beautiful price of AWS and DevOps. AWS at 55,000, DevOps at 55,000, and the project will cost you around 15,000. Okay, the total thing is 1.25,000. They will tell you. Then they'll reduce it to 1 lakh. Right? Okay. Now we have normal things also, right? So they will charge you around 35,000 for each. For AWS 35,000, for DevOps 35,000, and then the project they'll tell 10,000, and then finally they tell 80. Okay, so we are giving you okay, more or less 75,000, or we are giving you 3 MI. This is how the concept will tell. Now, actually, this is how I and Sumit have joined together, have talked to our management, and then we have ensured that we don't charge you even a 1 rupee more than the 60,000, which will include all these things, AWS, DEVOPS, your project, okay, all those things. And along with that, we provide you the placement service assistance, the resume writing, the mock interview, and then we give you the job openings, and we train you how to face the interviews also, so that you'll be definitely able to get a job at the end of this course, after this course, okay? So now if you see the duration of the course is 5 months, okay? Let us take the normal one. And all these things, it will take another 2 weeks of time. Yeah. So for all this, definitely we are spending something, and that's the reason the overall cost, training cost and everything we have included together, and then we are coming up with 60,000 quote. Okay. So finally, what did we achieve? Yeah. When we achieve only, we pat our backs, isn't it? So certified AWS and DevOps professional, a project which is a real-time project, and a job placement. So done, and that is what you achieve, and that is where we come up the end of the demo. So if you have any Q&A session, you can ask me now, okay? So that I'll stop my sharing. Yeah.